Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today we are going to do two more prompts in my childhood documented 80s style album. So today we are looking at 17 blockbuster nights and 18 best movies. And you'll see in my title page, I actually put blockbuster in quotation marks. And I'll explain that as we get a little bit more into it. So I probably should have put quotation marks here as well. But those are the two we're going to look at today. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up and get you put on fast forward. So let's do it. Okay, I am taking my album apart so I can work on the back of that page for my first prompt today, which is Blockbuster Nights. Leilani had this one on her list, and so I wanted to keep it, but I knew I was going to approach it from a little bit different angle. So that's why I have quotation marks on Blockbuster, because in my little town, Teak Town, we did not have a Blockbuster for several years. We just had little mom and pop video rental places. And so that's why I chose that picture over there that's kind of laying sideways, because our little rental stores looked a lot like that. And then we also rented VCRs because at the time, none of my friends and I had VCRs. So we would rent them for like $5 or $10 a weekend or something, I think. On the title page side, that VHS tape was from one of the digital ephemera packs, and so I pulled that in and went with the same deal on the background of having a large print on one side and a very small print on the other side of the same print, just different sizes. And then I put in a text box to do the please or be kind, please rewind, because I remember that was always on those VHS tapes on the outside the boxes, so I wanted to put that. And T-Town is just the nickname for the little town that I grew up in. It was called Thomaston. I don't live there any longer, but that's just what everybody referred to it as. So this page came together pretty quick. It was just gluing those two pictures down, and I did need to do a little bit of trim work there. And then we're going to move on to the next prompt, which is best movies. And I chose the arrows. My goodness, the stars that you're going to see in just a second. I chose those because I thought that was kind of appropriate for movies. And then and I blew it up big to fill up my page. And I liked this font, and I didn't really want to do a drop shadow, so I just decided I would print it off like that and go around it with a black Sharpie just to make it stand off from the stars there that are behind them. And then I'm going to try to read you the movies real quick because other than adhering down, I'm almost done here. So, and they're not in any order. I kind of wish I had put them in order, but they're just random. So here's what I chose: The Outsiders, Back to the Future, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Ghostbusters, Stand By Me, Pretty in Pink, E.T., 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Top Gun, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Dirty Dancing, and Footloose. So those were movies that I loved in the 80s as a teenager, and I still love most of them now. So I've got the title page adhered down, and these I just left as a plain white background. I didn't want those little bitty images of the like the movie poster type images. I didn't want them to have to fight against any kind of pattern on the background because they were already kind of small. So I just left it as white on these. Now I'm using my trimmer because I don't think I cut this one perfectly, and then I also definitely put it down crooked. And so there was enough overhang that I could use my trimmer instead of having to just try to do it with my scissors. And, you know, to me that gives it a much cleaner and definitely a straighter cut than I could do with my scissors. So I'm just going to pull over those numbers from recollections that so they came from Michael's that I've used throughout the album, and I'm going to get the 17 and the 18 put on there, and that will finish us up for today. So I'll be back here to talk to you in just a second. Okay, that's where I'm going to call these two layouts done. So I named this one Blockbuster Nights in T-Town because my little town we referred to lovingly as T-Town. And as I mentioned earlier, and probably also in the voiceover, we did not actually have a Blockbuster for many years in the town that I grew up in. We just had like little mom and pop video rental stores, and you could rent VCRs there because none of my friends had VCRs at the time. So I think it was like $5 or $10 to rent it for the weekend or something, and we'd rent like a stack of 5 or 6 movies to go along with it, and head over to someone's house and just, kind of have like a weekend long movie watching slumber party. So lots of good memories there. And then for best movies, I can't narrow things down. And so let's see, what do I have? I've got 15, because there were just so many good movies, so many good ones, that it was just really hard to pick. And these aren't in like any kind of order as far as like what I liked the most, because Dirty Dancing would definitely be above Ghostbusters, but they're there just kind of spread out color wise. So that finishes up 17 and 18. And then our last two official prompts are favorite games and mall spree. Now, I will tell you, when I was working on mall spree, I ended up splitting this one into two different categories, I guess you could call it. And then I also have a bonus category. So we're going to have this video, and then there will be one more video where I show you kind of the bonus material, and then just a couple of finishing touches that I've got to do on the cover, on the back, and things like that to kind of close the album out. So there'll be 2 more videos, and then I'll film a flip through of the whole thing in case you just want to kind of see it all at one time. So I appreciate you stopping by today. It means more to me than you will ever know. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up down below. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would certainly appreciate you doing that and becoming a part of my little YouTube family. So there will be close-ups at the end as well as over on Instagram, and I'd love for you to follow me over there as well. I share very regularly, and I share a lot of different projects that just don't ever make their way to YouTube. So there's lots more going on over there on Instagram. And my link is always in the description box. It's just michelles.empty.nest. And that'll wrap us up today. So until I see you again, I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.